This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning from WKYT. I'm Bill Bryant.
I'm Rebecca Smith. It's Thursday, February 11th.
And we're coming up on 6:30. The future of Lexington Centerpoint project is up in the air once again. We're tracking down some answers as to what may be next.
An early morning crash still has part of a Lexington road shut down this morning.
And we have those cold temperatures outside, teens and 20s. Couple of flurries, few flakes here and there, possible during the morning hours. And you know what? You can have those throughout the day, but let me just say, no accumulating snow is expected. 24 degrees by the afternoon. We do get another shot of some snow tomorrow. I'll show you how that's going to affect your day and those schools coming up.
We begin this half hour with a WKYT breaking news alert. Crews are at the scene of a house fire in Clay County.
Dispatchers tell us one person says his father's still inside a burning home. The scene is on East Highway 577 north of Manchester near the Jackson County line. We're told crews are still working to get the fire under control. Dispatchers say firefighters have not confirmed if anyone's been found inside the home. We are still making calls and continue to update you on this story throughout the morning.
Well, many in Lexington say that it feels like Centerpoint will never be built. This morning, people are reacting to the latest news that the newest investor in the project is walking away.
And we broke the story last night. Since then, been asking where do things go from here. WKYT's Mark Barber is live for us in downtown Lexington with potentially some answers.
Good morning, Rebecca. This morning we are finding answers with Steve Kay, the city's vice mayor, and he thinks that Centerpoint's agreement with the city still stands. And that means if there's not any movement here on the construction site for at least 60 days, then the owner of the property will be required to fill in this large, massive hole that's the size of a downtown city block here behind me. Now, the massive mixed-use project has taken on many different forms over the past 8 years, and it is now facing yet another setback when last night Mayor Jim Gray said that the city would not build their new city hall there. He said it was just too expensive for taxpayers, pointing to the fact that rent at Centerpoint would cost twice as much as other options. He also said developers were not willing to negotiate boundaries that the city needed. Once the city pulled out of the project, Centerpoint's new investors pulled out too, leading many to ask, what's next?
Everybody would like to see something happen there. That's a very important part of the community. But what we want to see there needs to be the right thing.
Gray says the city will continue to work to find the right answer for the Centerpoint development. But at this time, it's unclear if anything will be built here. Live in Lexington, Mark Barber, WKYT.
We'll have to wait and see. Matt Collins was the newest investor in Centerpoint. He's a UK law student who teamed up with a New York investment group to take over the project in August. In an exclusive interview with WKYT last summer, he told us he was thrilled to have this opportunity.
Having a hole in the center of downtown is not just aesthetically a blight, but it's an economic blight. And you know, we are incredibly excited and privileged to have the opportunity to invest in Lexington.
Collins says Mayor Jim Gray told him the city would prefer to build a standalone city hall. He says he can't move forward without a commitment from the city, and that's why he decided to drop the project.
You know, you may remember this all started out as a proposed gleaming high-rise skyscraper in downtown Lexington. Well, here is a look back at some of the key events surrounding Centerpoint. Demolition of the buildings on that block began back in 2008. Grass planted in the block the following year. In 2010, the block was used for events connected to the World Equestrian Games. A lot of festivals went on there. Blasting for the planned underground parking garage began at the site in 2014. And then last April, the city demanded that the developer at that time, Dudley Webb, fill in the site. A compromise was later worked out, and in August, new investors took over the project. But now they have announced that they are backing out. We have the interactive timeline of events for you to check out, and also the letter the developer sent to the city on WKYT.com.
Crews are making progress to repair a utility pole after an early morning crash in Lexington. It's happened around 3 o'clock in the morning on Innovation Drive near Georgetown Road. Police say a driver ran off the road, snapped a utility pole, and crashed into a tree. Crews had one inbound lane of Georgetown Road closed while repairs were being made to that utility pole. You can see them working very hard this morning in this live scene. That lane has reopened, but Innovation Drive is still closed. A man convicted of killing a Lexington police officer is scheduled to go before the state parole board next week. Glenn Donahue will ask for the board for an early release during a hearing Monday. But prosecutor Ray Larson tells our news partners at the Herald Leader his office will oppose his release. Donahue was sentenced to 20 years in prison following a hit-and-run crash with Officer Brian Durman back in 2010. Donahue has already been denied parole once.
Now 6:35 on WKYT this morning. It has grabbed national attention. A man known for dancing in Rupp Arena during UK games fell in the stands with a young girl in his arms. Now that happened during Tuesday night's game against Georgia. Video from ESPN shows Darren Moscow picked up Aubrey Derrickson as he was dancing, and then they fall. Aubrey, fortunately, was not hurt. She says that Moscow later apologized to her, and in an exclusive interview with WKYT, she says that she hopes he will keep entertaining fans.
I want him to keep dancing. I don't want him to stop. And I did see the video, the apology video that he posted, and that was so sad it really almost made me cry.
WKYT News contacted Rupp Arena to see if there will be any policy changes because of Moscow's fall, but we have never heard back. Well, former Kentucky Governor Steve Beshear is causing some intrigue this morning, planning to make what he is calling a major announcement today. We have just learned what that will be. Beshear will announce the launch of a campaign to make sure that Kentuckians maintain access to affordable health insurance. The current governor, Matt Bevin, is planning to dismantle Connect, the state's current health care exchange. Today, Beshear will announce details of his campaign at two events. One will be in Louisville and another in Lexington.
New this morning, a man is set to face a judge in connection to a deadly shooting. Alan Luke is charged with criminal and wanton endangerment. Lexington police say Luke shot at two people back in December on Jersey Street. And actually, it said deadly, but that's incorrect. The bullets did not actually hit anyone. But according to court documents, one bullet went through the radiator of a nearby car and lodged in the engine. So a very costly situation. It cost $9,000 worth of damage. Police arrested Alan Luke yesterday in connection to the crime. A Perry County bridge is now history. There you go. State highway crews demolished the old Highway 80 bridge. It was built in 1929. There had been an effort to move that bridge somewhere else, but the state could not find a good location. A new bridge opened last year.
Well, a construction project at a university here in central Kentucky has led to a very interesting finding. Demolition crews pulled up a time capsule at Martin Hall on the Eastern Kentucky University campus in Richmond. Today, President Michael Benson will open it up and show people whatever is inside. The school is holding a special ceremony for the big reveal at noon outside the Powell Center there. It's built in 1962, so it'll be very interesting to see.
Way back.
Yeah, 54 years back into the past, so we'll see what is there today. Waking up to some extremely cold temperatures may have you right now starting to think about spring and summer and warm weather ahead.
Definitely. You can kick that cabin fever this weekend in downtown Lexington. A little sport boat and recreation show action. That's what we're talking about, the Kentucky Sport Boat and Recreation Show starting today. WKYT's Michelle Chamberlain live to explain what we can expect. Good morning.
Yeah, this isn't what you expect to see at the Kentucky Sport, Boat, and Recreation Show, but you know what? There's a little bit of everything for everyone, including these awesome side-by-sides. We also have traditional ATVs, RVs, and of course there are plenty and plenty of boats. It all starts today at 2 and runs through Sunday. If you're looking to buy a boat or just get out of the house, it's a great way to have some fun for the next 4 days. I noticed you can even get a hunting license. There's also a rock climbing wall and fun for the kids, pony rides, petting zoos, and even a trout pond so they can learn all about fishing. There is 100,000 square feet between Rupp and Heritage Hall, and it's the largest and longest running outdoor expo in central Kentucky. Here's more information for you. The expo begins today at 2 and runs through Sunday. You can get a single day ticket for $10. Kids under 2 are free. And you know what I even noticed, guys? There are 2 zip lines here for you, so you can just be a part of that. And I'm pretty upset that that's not running this morning. Actually, I don't think I'd ever do that, but you know what? If you're brave enough, you should give it a shot. It starts today at 2. It's the Kentucky Sport, Boat, and Recreation Show. Live in Lexington, Michelle Chamberlain, WKYT.
All right. Yeah, I mean, there's so many things to do, and really, it's a great trip for the family. You know, bring everybody, because somebody will find something that they will enjoy doing and seeing, and maybe plan some big events in those warm months ahead.
Looks like fun, and it's nice to think ahead for that. Well, let's get a check of traffic right now. See what's happening out there on the cold roads this morning.
Right now, hitting 640. Here's Officer Don. Good morning.
Good morning. Well, police are still trying to help out KU in getting that telephone pole, that utility pole repaired at Georgetown and Innovation. So could still see a lane shut down there inbound Georgetown, as well as on Innovation itself. As we get a live look outside at traffic flow, not much of an impact right now on 75 north or southbound. Also good to go coming in from 64. As far as drive times are concerned, you should be okay this morning on the way in. Just watch for leftover patches of ice, but no major issues to report from Nicholasville. About 12 minutes in a lot better shape than it was yesterday morning. Paris will take 18, Winchester looking at 21. Now back to the studio.
Don, thank you. And you can get the latest traffic and weather information anytime, anywhere with the WKYT Weather Plus Traffic app. You can download that for free in the app or Google Play stores. More news coming up on WKYT on your Thursday morning. Good to have you along with us.
A man in Poland has a new and unique pet. How he came to adopt a squirrel.
It's coming up after weather.
And it's very cold outside. Look, we're going to hold on to these cold temperatures the next several days, but it looks like the snow's taking a break for now. I'll show you when it moves back in coming up.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
We've had a few flakes overnight, but none of those flakes have caused many issues. Maybe southeastern Kentucky, you could have a bit of some snow on the roads, but for the most part, we're not expecting much accumulation for today, if any at all. I would say if we do pick up any accumulation, it would have been a couple of hours ago. Things are now fading away out and about down toward Taylor County and work your way toward the Kimberlin Parkway and also 68. Those are areas dealing with a couple of snow showers this morning, but remember, none of this is very heavy. Temperatures are in the teens and 20s. Once we finish off the day, we actually finish off in the 20s. So it's not really going to rise that much more. We're not really falling that much more. It's just going to be a cold day in store. With those clouds, you could have a couple of flakes, a couple of flurries. But like I said, no big issues. The next issue actually comes tomorrow morning. I would say early morning commute is going to be tough for some. It's not widespread during the morning, but it does start to move in during the morning hours before early morning commute. That means kids going to school. That means you going off to work. There's going to be a few issues there tomorrow morning. And then going in toward the afternoon, it looks like that snow just continues to pick up, especially off into the evening when you get that northwest flow. It'll throw in some of those snow showers. So tomorrow, it's a light snowmaker, but it's just enough to cause some headaches just like the past few days. Saturday, Sunday, those are smaller chances. You're talking 30–40%, not a great chance. But Sunday night off into Monday, there is a system moving in. This is going to bring us a bigger headache for some. We'll see how it turns out. Remember, confidence is still very low on this. We're 5 days out. Once we hit Saturday, I believe that's when our confidence will increase, and that's when you'll start to hear us say, this is what's going to happen. But as of right now, I'll show you what I'm leaning toward, as opposed to what all the models are actually going with. What I'm leaning toward is mainly snow on this system. However, I do expect some wintry mix involved. It's mostly snow with a little bit of wintry mix. It's what I'm leaning toward at this moment. Still, confidence is low, but it's pretty high that it'll pick up and move on out of here. We'll have some issues out of this. Reason why I say that is because it's not going to be all rain. I know that. Very confident in that. It's not just an all rain event. And so that means maybe some freezing rain, sleet, and snow involved with that rain. So all precipitation types are involved with this one as of right now. The track and low pressure system, obviously that's the most important thing. That's essential. And how this forecast is going to pan out there. Sunday night through Tuesday. Monday and Tuesday is probably your best bet across the region. We're looking at current traffic and things are looking pretty good across the area. Not seeing many issues. Except for it looks like one spot right downtown, and we're going to zoom into that, and it looks like right downtown near Rupp Arena, so heads up for that. Non-injury collision in that area. Here's your 7-day forecast. Other than that, the roads are looking pretty good, except for the slick spots that were still left over from yesterday. Let's talk about your 7-day. 24 today, small chance of snow, no real accumulation expected. The accumulation takes place tomorrow. Maybe some issues there during the morning hours. Kids trying to get back to school. Tomorrow is going to be a little bit tough. We'll see how that turns out. Smaller chances for the weekend, but Sunday night and Monday, that's when that snow moves on in. And not just snow, but like I said, it could be all different types of precipitation. So there's a lot of questions with this storm system as of right now.
Keep our eye on that, and then you're saying way on out, you can see warmer weather, right?
Not this weekend, but next weekend. It looks really, really nice temperature-wise.
Hopefully it's here to stay after that.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Something to grab onto. Thank you, Mike. Our time this morning is 6:47.
Well, a man in Poland is talking about how he became friends with a squirrel.
Right. He says that he was walking his dogs one day and he felt something fall, and fearing the tiny squirrel the size of a shoelace would not survive, he nursed it back to health. The squirrel is free to leave and roam wild, but his owner says he just doesn't want to. So he's hanging around. Likes his place.
But a squirrel the size of a shoelace? It's a skinny squirrel.
That's when they found him, but look at that. He looks like he's doing well, enjoys himself.
That's cute.
Loves his, I don't know, his owner.
A lot of energy. I thought terriers had a lot of energy, but squirrels apparently, woo. Woo.
That's great. And then in our web segment ahead, we'll tell you about a cat who's taking care of a little puppy. That's an interesting story, so we'll have that in a little bit here, too.
That's up my alley. I like it.
Time this morning is 6:48 on WKYT This Morning.
More news. Stick around with us.
Coming up, we're on the campaign trail with both parties' candidates ahead of Saturday's GOP debate on CBS. Plus, improving airport security. We have first access to the new TSA Training Academy. More real news coming up on CBS This Morning, next.
Still to come, a story you'll see only on CBS This Morning.
An inside look at the new TSA Training Academy, where students get training on safety and security measures. It's coming up on CBS This Morning, now about 9 minutes away. 6:51 is our time right now.
And in local news, firefighters are still on scene of a house fire in Clay County.
Dispatchers tell us that one person says that his father did not make it out of the burning home. The scene is on East Highway 577, north of Manchester, very near the Jackson County line. And the dispatchers say that firefighters have not confirmed if anyone has been found inside the home. You can find updates on this story on WKYT.com and on our WKYT News app and on our newscast throughout the day.
So the big question, what's next for Centerpoint? The newest investors in the downtown Lexington project announced they are pulling out. Matt Collins' lawyer sent a letter to the city saying that because Lexington did not want to lease a new city hall as part of the project, the group could not develop the block. Mayor Jim Gray says the developer's deal is too costly for taxpayers. Vice Mayor Steve Kay says his understanding is that Dudley Webb, Centerpoint's landowner, remains under notice that the hole will need to be filled if they do not move forward with the development.
We have just learned what former Kentucky Governor Steve Beshear will be discussing during two planned news conferences later today. Beshear will be announcing the launch of a campaign to make sure that Kentuckians maintain access to affordable health insurance. The current governor, Matt Bevin, is planning to dismantle Connect, the state's current health exchange. Today, Beshear will announce details of his campaign. There will be two events, one in Louisville, another in Lexington.
Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders face off in their sixth Democratic debate tonight in Milwaukee. The showdown comes just 2 days after the Vermont senator trounced the former Secretary of State in the New Hampshire primary. A smaller GOP field, including New Hampshire winner Donald Trump, will participate in a debate this weekend ahead of the next critical primary in South Carolina. The 4 remaining occupiers of a national wildlife refuge in Oregon are promising to surrender this morning. Last night, the FBI attempted to negotiate an end to a standoff that began weeks ago. Meanwhile, the father of the leader of the occupiers has been arrested. Police say Cliven Bundy was booked into a county jail in Oregon. His son, Ammon Bundy, has been in jail. Officials with Royal Caribbean plan to strengthen the company's storm avoidance policies after one of its cruise ships sailed right into the path of a very dangerous storm. Passengers cheered last night, look at that, at the Anthem of the Seas returned to its home port in New Jersey. The ship was on its way to Florida Sunday when it was battered by massive waves and hurricane-force winds. Those look like scary scenes of that storm.
I'm telling you, a rough trip with one guy kissing the ground there. Glad to be off of the ship after all of that. 6:54 is our time this morning on WKYT.com. You'll find our complete list of closings and delays. We have lots of districts that have missed several days in a row because of this wintry weather. Our web web poll is asking a simple question this morning. Are you tired of snow? And about 61% say yes, they are ready to move on, and 39% say no, they like the snow. This is winter. We're asking the question, what is next for Centerpoint? Now that the newest developers have pulled out of the project, we have several stories and a timeline of how things have unfolded since a block of buildings was knocked down back in 2008 with promises of a skyscraper downtown. Also trending, a man arrested in Lexington accused of trying to cut off his girlfriend's head in Covington with a samurai sword. She's being treated now for injuries, and he is facing attempted murder charges. Okay, if you ever thought that a cat and dog could not get along, you have never met Stripes the cat and a little puppy named Star. Check out our story of how this cat thinks that his duty is to help the little puppy through her rough start and to protect her. It's a great story. You'll enjoy that on WKYT.com. In Frankfort, lawmakers considering a bill that would now crack down on people who distribute sexually explicit images without the consent of the person depicted. Kentucky.com with that story this morning. Before you head off to the Kentucky Sport Boat and Recreation Show that starts today, check out WKYT.com for all the info about all the fun at Rupp Arena and Heritage Hall running right through the weekend. And CBS This Morning is coming up very shortly now with your eye opener. And of course, we'll have local updates as well. They're getting ready to go there live in New York, and of course our local updates from here in Lexington. Hey, join us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter or Instagram, and for the latest anytime, WKYT.com.
Well, we're looking outside at these temperatures sitting there in the teens and 20s. As we go through the day, here's what we're going to be dealing with. A couple of flakes, couple of flurries. None of this is going to be a big issue because I do expect us to actually stay without accumulation today. Now we get into the afternoon in the 20s, mostly cloudy skies. Then we go overnight and into tomorrow morning, and that's when we start to see a few issues in the forecast. Tomorrow is our next best chance of seeing some accumulation. It's going to be very light. It's going to be exactly like what we just went through the past couple of days, but it does come in early in the morning. I would say as of right now somewhere between 5 and 8 a.m., meaning rush hour time, and that could cause some problems going off to work. Not just that, but for some schools tomorrow. So parents, go ahead and plan ahead. Just make a plan for tomorrow.
Yeah.
Kids may be at home.
Okay.
Best thing to do.
Possibility. All right. Nobody's more up to date than you to start your day, and Kentucky mornings start with WKYT.
Have a great day.